For Pacifica Radio, I'm Christina Onnested. A Qatar-brokered ceasefire was on and on again to stop strikes from the U.S. and Israel on Iran and Iranian counterstrikes. The deal brokered Monday after Iran launched strikes on a U.S. military base in Qatar. Most were intercepted. One hit a building, no injuries reported. Trump later announced a ceasefire. Then Israel launched strikes on Iran hours before it was to take effect, sparking Iranian strikes and condemnation from President Donald Trump today, who spoke to reporters before boarding a flight to meet with NATO leaders.
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. I'm not happy with Iran either. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Israel said Iranian strikes killed 4 civilians after the truce went into effect. It said it launched strikes that destroyed an Iranian radar installation. Trump says the ceasefire is now in effect, ending 12 days of war that have killed at least 28 Israelis and at least 974 Iranians. Thousands have been wounded. The United Nations Security Council will discuss the war later today. Meanwhile, Lebanon has filed a complaint with the United Nations claiming Israel has repeatedly violated its ceasefire deal with its neighbor. President Trump's intelligence leader, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, and Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard will hold a classified briefing with members of Congress about the strikes on Iran today, 3 days after Trump bombed 3 Iranian nuclear facilities. Democrats and some Republicans have questions about the president's unilateral decision to launch military action. Many argue the Republican president should have gone to Congress for approval. This as bipartisan resolutions requiring congressional approval for further strikes are pending in both chambers. NATO leaders are gathering in the Netherlands for the start of a 2-day summit to discuss a commitment from 32 allied members to spend 5% of each nation's gross domestic product into NATO defense capabilities. President Donald Trump has pushed for greater investment from European allies. Spain has said it will not reach that target. Some others are doubtful. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, meanwhile, arrived in The Hague for a series of meetings today. He addressed the European Union, warning about the threat of Russian aggression expanding beyond his country.
Putin only thinks about war. That's a fact. And our intelligence confirmed this. Russia is even planning new military operations on NATO territory, meaning your countries.
Meanwhile, in Ukraine, officials say Russian drones, missiles, and artillery have killed at least 18 civilians and injured more than 100 others. Israeli forces and drones have opened fire towards hundreds of Palestinians waiting for aid trucks in central Gaza, killing more than 70, according to reports from Al Jazeera. The death toll now surpassing 56,000. This as new food distribution sites run by the U.S. contractor Gaza Humanitarian Aid Foundation, with U.S. and Israeli government support, have been plagued by scenes of violence and chaos since opening last month. UNICEF is now warning Gaza faces a looming drought amidst a continued food blockade from Israel, and another child has starved to death in Gaza. Wafa news agency is reporting Israel denied the child medical evacuation. The Supreme Court's conservative majority ruled Monday the Trump administration can, for now, legally deport immigrants to countries they were not born in, known as third countries, without giving them time to contest their destination. Briefs were due Monday in California's ongoing legal challenge to President Trump's deployment of the Marines and California National Guard troops to Los Angeles to confront protesters against the president's mass deportation agenda. District Judge Charles Breyer requested arguments on whether the Posse Comitatus Act is being violated. The 1878 law prohibits troops from conducting civilian law enforcement on U.S. soil, though there are several legal exceptions, including the Insurrection Act, to quash a rebellion. California's legal challenge claims the L.A. protest did not meet the bar for rebellion. A judge, in the meantime, has allowed the administration to continue to deploy the military in L.A. as the case works its way through the courts. State lawmakers spoke out against the deployment of the military in California Monday. Dahlia Lozier reports.
As a former Marine herself, State Senator Caroline Menjivar spoke about the danger of using Marines domestically.
How to kill, how to destroy. That's what Marines are trained for. We are not trained to de-escalate situations. We are not trained to be sent into our own soil to detain our brothers and sisters, American citizens.
Senator Alex Padilla talked about threats to democracy at a congressional hearing on Monday.
Just happens to be Los Angeles right now, just happens to be California right now, just happens to be a conversation about immigrant rights and due process right now. But this administration, including the Secretary of Homeland Security, has not been shy about what they perceive as their, quote, mission: to liberate Los Angeles from the governor and from the mayor. It is a dangerous notion.
I'm Dahlia Lozier.
I'm Christina Onnested reporting for Pacifica Radio.